Sometimes wrestling isn't enough. After all, the best cards are variety shows, little bits of technical mat grappling here, a little bit of hardcore spot fest there, a sprinkling of high flying, a sousson of two hosses clubbing red nightmares out of each other, a comedy match featuring two invisible wrestlers, main event rinse repeat. Familiarity breeds contempt, after all, and over the years, bookers have tried to freshen up stale feuds, artificially heighten drama, and spike ticket sales with increasingly elaborate, high concept, and often bonkers stipulations. Oh, this isn't just any match. This is an elimination chamber match, a falls count anywhere match, a stairs match. Oh, stairs. Some stipulations are great, but loads have been handicap hog pens of tedious bollocks. Hell, the stairs match didn't even make this list. These are all worse than a stairs match. Pray for us all. I'm Adam, hailing from PartsFUNknown, and here are the 10 worst wrestling stipulations ever. Before we kick into the list, how about the greatest stipulation of all, the please subscribe to our channel on a poll match? To win it, you have to click subscribe, and then you win. Thank you. Goodbye. Number 10, hard 10 match. I mean, I couldn't not. Number 10, hard 10. You get it. So Impact Wrestling used to be known as TNA. You're going to hear those three letters a lot. Desperately trying to market themselves as different to WWE, TNA threw 8 cows worth of convoluted, nonsensical shit at a wall and very little of it stuck. For example, the hard 10 match from TNA's early years, which they brought in for one tournament and never used again. It was so bad that TNA only used it once. That's saying something. The premise of the stipulation is, hey, you know what hardcore matches need? Maths. Hard 10 match was hardcore rules, except the only way to win is to get 10 points. You get 1 point for a, quote, direct hit with an object, 5 points for putting someone through a table, and also you have to win by at least 2 points in order to win. It's like a mixture of wrestling and board games, and somehow I hate it. What's a direct hit? Can you just jab someone with a pencil 10 times? Why the 2-point thing? Is this tennis? It's New Jack versus Sandman. I don't think it's tennis. Why'd you have board game catch-up mechanics in a death match? They're death matches. It's like putting a chocolate cake in front of someone and saying, have a slice, but only if it's exactly 2/14 of the whole cake. Number 9, shark cage match. No, not the ones with someone suspended above the ring in a shark cage. Those are a bit bad, but fundamentally okay, at least when they don't feature Enzo slithering out of one like a gecko in a strip club. I mean the old type of shark cage match that the territories once booked, i.e. 2 dudes battering each other inside of one inside the ring. It's like that scene from Jaws, only there's 2 James Dreyfuses. They're both pissed up on dark fruit and lumping each other for a drop quid on a bathroom floor. There's one on YouTube featuring Chief J Strongbow versus Bulldog Don Kent, and it's so weird. 2 men just hitting each other over and over again, with the aim being the first to escape the shark cage, but their roughhousing keeps opening the door, and they have to struggle to make sure they don't accidentally win, with the ref having to actually hold the door shut in places. It's hilarious for a bit, and then it just gets really fucking boring because they can't do anything because they're inside a shark cage. Number 8, blindfold match. And speaking of boring, oh doctor, 2 wrestlers wearing bags on their heads, very slowly walking around a ring, gesturing like clowns, and not fighting each other. Now, some of you historians will point to the most famous blindfold match, Jake Roberts versus Rick Martel at Mania 7, as being good. You are wrong about that. It's the same thing over and over again. Roberts points around the ring as the crowd shout to help him find Martel. They miss each other or have a very brief scuffle, and then they do it again and again and again and again and again and again and again, whilst also making one of the coolest characters in WWE history, the super composed Jake Roberts, scramble around on the mat like a dog. I was saying boo earns. TNA had a famously terrible blindfold match at Lockdown 2007 featuring James Storm and Chris Harris, where the bags kept falling off their heads. This was a blood feud between former tag partners. Can you imagine Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa main eventing TakeOver New Orleans with fucking bags on their heads, falling down and going whoopsie? Number 7, eye for an eye match. It's a ping pong ball. I don't know what I wanted from a finish for this match. Wasn't this, though. So much like TNA doing mad things to compete with the big dub, during 2020, WWE did a whole bunch of mad things to compete with the crushing reality that no fans wrestling is bollocks. Cue this turd, the highest, stupidest concept in years. To win, one wrestler must extract the eyeball of their opponent. Are you okay, WWE? Talk about booking your talent into a corner. You have a match so conceptually horrific that you know they can't actually follow through through on the thing they're promising, so you spend the entire match completely disengaged from the good work Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio is doing, waiting for the disconcerting smoke and mirrors to kick in, watching two really good wrestlers doing their best to come close, but not actually do the thing the company advertised them as doing, because that would not be very sports entertaining of them. Number 6. Fight for the right. Hi TNA, good to see you again. You can just imagine the writers' meeting that went into this one. So what do? Battle Royal? Well, there's been a lot of those. Reverse Battle Royal? What's a reverse Battle Royal? Everyone has to, I don't know, get in the ring. Cool, that's lunch. It doesn't work. The fight for the right concept is this. You have a load of wrestlers outside a ring. They fight to try and get in the ring. Once about half the wrestlers are in there, everyone who didn't make it is then eliminated. Then they do a battle royal, only forwards this time, until there are 2 people left. Then they do a match. Got it? Good, except the order people are eliminated in the not reverse part of the Battle Royal determines the seeding for a single elimination tournament, the winner of which faces the winner of the singles match at the end of the original Battle Royal. Look, it's very simple. Let's start from the top. Vince Russo was born the end. Not only is that complicated to the point of having no stakes, but just the act of seeing people battling to get into the ring, it doesn't work. Don't fight each other. Just rush into the ring and see what happens. Stop wandering around outside looking for people to punch. Just get in the ring. Fuck. Doesn't work. Doesn't work so hard. Number 5, King of the Mountain match. Hey, you've heard of a reverse battle royal. How about a reverse ladder match? It's different. It's TNA. So what you think a reverse ladder match is, you're right. Climb a ladder, hang a belt over the ring to win. Simple. You're right. It's too simple. In a King of the Mountain match, 5 wrestlers start, and before they climb the ladder, they have to become eligible to climb it by pinning or submitting someone else, with the person they beat having to spend 2 minutes in a shark cage to think about all the career choices that led them to this point. Hey, cool, a shark cage. Does that mean we can get 2 minutes of formless, ugly brawling if 2 dudes get locked in at the same time? Sure does. Fill your boot. Then, once you're eligible, you got to get the belt from the ref, but once it's got, other people can steal it unless you drop it, in which case it has to go back to the official, sort of, most of the time. It's madness. Like, I sort of understand why TNA stuck with the concept for 10 pissing years. 5 dudes in a ladder match is more often than not going to have a few decent moments, but then just do a 5-way ladder match. There's rethinking the wheel, and then there's adding 4 more wheels to a wheel so it becomes a square and it doesn't turn like a wheel. Number 4, on a pole match. Eric Bischoff has Elimination Chamber. Chris Jericho has Money in the Bank. This is Vince Russo's legacy. He didn't invent them, of course, but he sure did bring us the worst iterations of dudes fighting for a bit, then scampering to grab a thing on a pole like a cat trying to catch a feather. Stop making your wrestlers look uncool. Stop it. There've been loads of things suspended from poles over the years. Contracts, kendo sticks, biker chains, Viagra. Wrestling's just f***ing tops, isn't it? A mum on a pole. Forklift, technically, but it fits the brief. TNA's Feast or Fired match, where there are 4 briefcases on poles. Some have title shots in them, but one has a pink slip. And if you get it, you're fired. But if you lose the match, you're not fired. So why would you try and win the match? Finally, worst of all, the San Francisco 49ers match in WCW, where there were 4 boxes on poles. One had the WCW Championship in it, with the other 3 containing a coal miner's glove, a blow-up doll, a picture of recently fired Scott Hall, rib-tickling stuff, and then the final box fell apart with the belt falling to the floor on the outside. It's a legacy of tedious wank. Number 3, Punjabi prison match. Oh, I hate the Punjabi prison match more than most people. It's just... it's unwatchable. So trying to work out what makes a wrestling stipulation bad, one of the key questions you have to ask is, how much pointless f***ing admin does it add to the match? Last man standing matches grinding to a halt every 2 minutes for a slow ref count, casket matches dissolving into squabbling over a f***ing lid, and then there's this, WWE managing to crowbar boring faff into a double cage match. Here's how it works. You start off inside the small cage, you do a bit of fighting, then call for one of the small doors in that cage to be opened. If it is, you got 1 minute to get through it, or it's locked forever. So you've got the whole faffing around the door bit that WWE insist on putting in all of their cage matches, but at least 4 times. Then if you're still locked in, you have to climb out of the small cage, get to the outside cage, which you then need to climb out of in order to win. And all the while, you can't f***ing see anything, because instead of chain link fence, they put 2 separate layers of thick bamboo between the audience and the wrestlers. So you can't, like, I say unwatchable, you can't watch it. It's a special feat to be boring and literally unviewable. Number 2, Brawl for All. Talk about a concept that failed at every single thing it was trying to accomplish. The brainchild of Vince Russo, WWE created a shoot fight division within its own roster and had them compete in a tournament of Brawl for All matches, which were basically boxing matches between a bunch of men who didn't know how to box. It was designed to get over Steve Williams. Whoops, it immediately injured him. It was designed to get over its roster as super tough bar fighting some bitches. Whoops, it just made the competitors look much less coordinated than the guys who were doing actual, wrestling. It was designed to promote its new MMA signings. Whoops, Ken Shamrock wasn't in it. Steve Blackman got injured, and Dan Severn did one match then pulled out because he was just so embarrassed and annoyed by it all. The tournament final between Bradshaw and Bart Gunn looked like two drunks trying to fight on the deck of a pirate ship. Dangerous, massively exposing of how fake actual wrestling is, and then Butterbean killed the winner so no one got over. You know the Simpsons bit where Bart and Lisa walk towards each other punching and kicking? That's Brawl for All, and if you watch it, then it's your own fault. And number 1, Kennel from Hell match. A Punjabi prison match with the added bonus of putting innocent dogs in harm's way. I don't have a sense of humour when it comes to animals being frightened by wrestling matches. Don't scare animals on purpose. So it's a tale as old as time. Boss Man kills Al Snow's dog and feeds it to him, which is literally the most Shakespearean WWE has ever been, which was blown off in a match that brought together the holy trinity of Hell in a Cell match, cage match, and doggos. Wrestlers started in the ring in a small cage, had to escape to the Hell in a Cell part, then get out the door, with the big twist being that the cell is being patrolled by ravenous, bloodthirsty dogs. Or at least they wanted ravenous, bloodthirsty dogs. Instead, they got a procession of good boys who, overstimulated by the crowd, just decided to focus on what we all do when we get overwhelmed: sex and pooping. The dogs completely ignored the wrestlers, humped each other, and generally just lived their best lives. Hashtag Hot Pup Summer. Widely heralded as one of the worst WWE matches of all time. I mean, yeah. Yes, fair enough. And that's our list. What's your least favourite wrestling stipulation? Let us know below, and don't forget to like and share this video around if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to PartsFUNknown for more silly wrestling content. Jam that jam.